Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another gigantic ship, which is once again a transport ship that features so many cargo containers that you can practically fit in an entire playthrough onto this ship. So this, which I'm currently standing on top of, is called the LIM Constellation Orion Heavy Freighter, which is this lovely thing over here. So like I said, this is a bloody massive ship that goes on and on and on. And of course, as you can see, we've got plenty of cargo containers on this. We've got a bit of defense in the form of Gatling guns and custom Gatling gun turrets. We also have 5 jump drives, so we can jump a fairly big distance, as well as all types of thrusters, so are good for pretty much everywhere. And yes, I am using a brand new Skybox. This one is very old. It's from back in 2015, if I remember correctly. But it does show a gigantic planet Earth here, with all the lights shining up there. And well, it does make the area very, very nice. Although it does seem quite odd to actually see this from the Earth-like planet. The rest of the Skybox is pretty dark. We do have a few patches of purple and blue here and there. Apart from one section, we have a massive splodge of blue. Up to there it is. So we do have a very fancy galaxy in the distance there, just to break up all the darkness. Anyway, back to the ship. Turn this all around like so. Press the F10, find it in spawn menu. There it is. This thing is only 2,294 large blocks, using pretty much all the DLC packs. We see here one hell of a lot of information which I'm not going to read out. There's the specifications. And of course, all it's got on there. So we do have refineries, we do have basic assemblers, and of course, we do have an auto-door and airlock systems for our airlocks on both sides of the ship. And of course, there's all the scripts it uses. So simply give this a thumbs up, run towards the very front, have a very brief look around the outside, then we'll go into the meat of this thing, have a very good tour of the inside, and see what it has to offer. And yes, as you can see there, we do have 2 more scripts on here, the radar script and the integrity script. We'll get a close look at them a bit later on. So, putting on my light, this is what we get for the very front of the LIM Constellation Orion Heavy Freighter, and that is a bunch of window blocks where we can peer inside our bridge, which does feature a bunch of our brand new console blocks, just to make it a lot more, well, bridge-like with its overall design. Surrounding all of that, we've got some then grey steel blocks with a dark grey ramp along the top there just to break it all up. On the left and right hand side, we've then got our Gatling turrets, our standard Gatling turrets to blast your enemies with, as well as our bay windows, just to break up all the way along this section. Getting a bit closer and looking on the inside, there's all of our console blocks lining everything up, as well as a few cargo containers, some quick cargo access. Along the side here we go, so we've got a red light on this side, a few more windows, there's your doorway, one on both sides, and this is your airlock to get inside, which will be cycled by the script, but we'll see that when we go around on foot. Across to here, even more bay windows that appear inside at a small living quarter type area. Then up to there's a radar dish made out of our truss blocks, sitting on some blast edge blocks with some railings there for some decoration. Across to here's our custom guns, our custom Gatling gun turrets, but we will take a closer look at them right now. So all the way up to here we go. Very bog standard stuff, so we've got 2 Gatling guns on both sides, some rounded steel blocks just to make it look like we've got ammo belts on the side, camera in the middle, there's of course our little rotor to spin it all the way around. Anyway, back over here onto the side, as you saw we do have a small reactor behind some window blocks to give it a bit of power. Then across over to here is our massive hodgepodge of all of our large cargo containers, very exposed, so you will want to have an escort with you on your adventure to make sure these do not take damage from any kind of drones or any kind of modular systems and counter-spawn enemies that could, well, make some serious damage to these containers and risk losing whatever's inside them. But yes, they've all got conveyor caps just on their connection point to make them look very nice and neat from the sides, and also stop any kind of pirates or player thieves coming all the way up to this or trying to pull stuff out without you knowing. Across on the side, here we go, this is our thruster pod system, which does look absolute bloody magnificent when we shoot all of our thrusters, especially from behind, where the hydrogen and ion thrusters all mixed together and create a very lovely glow. Yes, over here we then got our armored panels just covering this all the way around. That's how our thrusters have been set up. Then back onto the side, there's our connector to actually dock this thing up. More hydrogen thrusters, some great use for our beam blocks just covering up all of our internals there. And around towards the very back of this thing, here we go. Now this is what I was talking about with the great lighting. So we've got 4 standard ion thrusters, we've got 2 sci-fi ion thrusters, whatever the fancy ones are called, 6 hydrogen thrusters, and then in the middle there we've got 2 large hydrogen thrusters, 3 small ones, which do, like I said, make a fantastic glow when we were to drive this thing around. If we were to get a bit closer look over here and putting on my light, there we go, simply how it's all been set up. Then very quickly shoving the camera all the way through here into the middle. And yes, we're not going to really be able to see too much, so we're just going back away from this, move back around and all the way up. There we go. So turning on my light once again, we then got some lovely curved glass covering up our auction farm, which does make it look quite nice. I've never actually seen a ship do this type of design before, but it does look very nice and very neat, and will give it an extra bit of protection from any kind of pot shots coming towards you. Moving all the way across, there's some more hodgepodge of hydrogen tanks, and of course beam blocks just covering them all up on the top. And over here, here's the start of our cargo containers once again, with the conveyor caps on the front of them, all the way across towards the front of the ship, we're actually going to be able to walk around. There's the top of our custom gun. All the way over to here, here's our truss blocks once again. We're going to actually take a proper close look at these. So down to here, we've got our corner truss block onto a truss button. The button has nothing set up, it's purely there for some decoration. Across to here is our blast edge block with our railings on the side. Over to here is then our cross-section truss block with 2 beacons on each side. All the way up there is the lovely decoy. It does look very well for an antenna dish, despite it's going to be the first thing that gets shot on this ship. It doesn't work very well for that. Looking all the way down once again, moving all the way across, here we go. There's our cannon turret on each side there. There's a top-mounted camera, which isn't too good on this. I would have preferred to have the camera on the front. You don't really get a good view of where you're going with this ship, the way that camera has been placed. But yes, it is there, in case you do want to have a top view. If we move all the way down underneath this thing, here we go, almost done with this. Putting on my light once again, there's the bottom of our cockpit, or our bridge, where we can just about make out the seats. All the way across here, we've got some blinking white lights. There's a little green strip to break up all the grey. There's of course our green and red lights to signal your left and right. All the way over to here, here's your amp-soaked thrusters to keep you off the ground while on the planet. There's your custom gatling gun turret. Once again, our massive hodgepodge of all of our containers. And then towards the back here, here we go, some more amp-soaked thrusters, some small fan amp-soaked thrusters, and we just about make out our conveyors and our assemblers, where we do have some basic refineries also in there to be able to build everything up we need in survival mode. And then, last but not least, we do have a couple magnet in place to clamp yourself down onto a station or onto a planet if that's what you want to do. And with that, that's out for the outside of the LIM Constellation Orion heavy freighter, and looks bloody fantastic with how it's all been set up. I do absolutely love the thruster design at the back. We'll see that in just a moment because it's time for me to grab hold of my character and head on inside. So jetpacking all the way down and towards the front, towards where that door was, there it is right there, opening up this, dropping myself all the way down, and then waiting because the doors will automatically close behind us and automatically open up. But if you're not quick and we're dawdling in the airlock, it will close up right behind you. Then we just manually open that up, no problem whatsoever. And this is what we get. So looking towards the back of the ship, we've got a few doors to go through, as well as a way all the way up. Then towards the front there, that'll take us to our bridge, so we'll come back to that at the very end. So to start off, what we're going to do is come through both of these doors down here. They're both going to be identical, so we're only going to look at one, opening up this doorway, and here we are. So we've got our lovely bay windows on the side to see outside the lovely skybox. Over to there is your counterblock, there's your locker, around the corner is your corner chair, and behind us is your little bed to go to sleep on. And that's about it for this room. Coming out of this to the opposite side, just to very quickly show you, opening up this doorway, not too sure where I was trying to go there. Yes, there's your counter, locker, round the corner is your chair, and there's your bed. And of course, a fantastic view all the way down at Australia. Anyway, back through here, all the way around and through this lovely corridor. We've got some lights along the top, we've got some inset lights along the bottom, so it is very nice and bright inside here. We'll eventually get over to this section, which is sort of like a small communal area. We've got table and chairs, we've got a little table right there. There's your kitchen block, there's your little kitchen actual cooker block, and of course our bay windows once again. We also have a way to go all the way up, we'll come back to that in just a moment. There's a cargo access, there's an air vent, looking all the way up, more windows for you to peer outside a lovely skybox, and then a doorway to come through, which comes to a small little study area, which I'm not too actually sure what this place is supposed to be. We've got a chair, we've got a survivor kit, on there we've got a little bit of flavour, then turning all the way around and facing the back. We then got our lockers, we then got our inset bookshelf, then all the way up to there, not too much else to talk about, but we can just about make out our window, peer up at the skybox. That's all there is in this room. Yeah, not too sure what this is, so I'm just labelling it as a study. So all we've got to do now is open up this doorway, come up these steps, and then all the way around. So past this inset light block, all the way over to here, not too much else to talk about, but we can peer down into the little study room down there. Into this section, and on our left and right, we've got some more rooms. Not too sure what these are meant to be. They're sort of like the riffraff rooms, or maybe your passenger or guest rooms. But they both have a kitchen block, a little bed on the side, around the corner our other kitchen block, and then the lovely fish block, where we can see them just swimming all the way around. There we are. I do absolutely love this fish block. The way it is animated and does add a nice bit of life to the overall ship or room. Anyway, to the opposite side, exactly the same setup, bookshelf, bed, round the corner, kitchen block, and of course the fish block. But as for that, that's all there is in this section, till we come over to here. So this is the area where we started, where those two doors there are airlock. There's of course our gravity generator and a button to actually control that if you want to do it. But right over to here and up these two steps, with of course the doors down to there that led to the more fancier rooms, we can now have an internal cockpit driving around so the front of the ship ever took damage or is getting absolutely hammered by the enemies. We do have this option of driving around, which is always a very good idea to have on a large ship or any old ships in general. But yes, to showcase at the back here of all the thrusters firing at the same time, hiding that, in fact hiding all the HUD. Moving forwards, here we go. I have converted this to a station for the moment, we don't actually wander off. But look at that, the way the lights just hit on the side of those armoured panels, the blue and the yellow just mixing together, the way the new ion thrusters have that slightly more lighter blue with a slight hint of green to them, also mixing out in the middle, just looks absolutely fantastic to drive around. Enough of that, coming out of that, back into here, coming all the way down these steps, past the two little airlocks, into this front section and opening up the doorway. And here we are for our bridge. On the left and right hand side of me, we then got our cargo containers for a quick little access to drop stuff in and out of the ship. And then surrounding the rooms, as you can see, we've got our fancy new console blocks, a few seats on there for your passengers or even companions to pretend they're doing stuff. So walking around the room here, there we go, we've got a corner one with a chair, a bunch of different things, then of course our button panel one where we can see the radar script on the front there, with a few buttons that do have stuff set up on them, but unfortunately they are currently broken. I can see at least one of these will control the lights, and one of them does control the celebration button. It's kind of a shame that we couldn't actually see that one, so I might have to go through the control panel or dig around in there and see if I can actually find it. We've got two other ones which I do not know what's going on with them. On the opposite side, instead of the celebration button, we do have just a master toggle for the lights, and then once again, two buttons that don't quite know what they are. At the front, here's our integrity script, so we can actually see what blocks are damaged and whatnot. A very handy thing to have on a large ship. We can't actually keep track of what's actually taking damage in combat. Then to the opposite side is of course a big radar script, so we can actually see the enemies all around us. And then finally, here's our controls to actually drive it around, bring up the HUD. These are the only controls we get. And yes, this ship is bloody massive, so in the third person view from the front cockpit, it is quite hard to see what's going on with this thing and to actually see where you're taking damage and all of that. Yes, number one for your top mounted camera, where like I said, is in a quite awkward position due to the way the lip on the steel block at the front is basically covering up a good portion of where you want to be seeing. Popping out of that and pressing number two, that's good for your jump drives, where we'll need to come to here, further that into a ship, there we go. And here we are one more time, so we can jump a whopping 7,000 kilometers for such a big ship with so many cargo containers on here. That is bloody impressive and extremely useful if you are doing long distance trading, which this ship will excel at. After that, I'm pressing number 4, that's for your reactors on and off. Number 5 is for your hydrogen engines on and off. Number 6 for your ion thrusters. Number 7 for your hydrogen thrusters on and off. 8 and 9 for your magnetic plates below the ship, clamp it down if you want to do that. Oh, that's that for all the controls. So coming to here and finding the control panel, finding the celebration button, but I do not know if it's actually in here. I'm not sure if it's even properly set up, so it might have been something the creator made and then walked back on because they didn't think it was too useful for the vehicle. Yes, that's everything on the inside, but I can't find anything to do with a celebration button, which is a shame. Anyway, for a test drive, here we go, moving forwards. And this is what we get. So as you can expect from having all those thrusters on the back of the ship, and this is as far as I can actually zoom out with this thing, we are bloody fast. And then coming to a stop, and you can see we're not too bad. Despite having not as many thrusters moving backwards, we still have a reasonable stopping speed, which might change when we're all full up, with, well, where all of our cargo containers are all full up. But as it stands right now, still very impressive for such a large ship. So we have to move left, and move right. Shouldn't be unexpected with that, we are bloody slow. And then I come to a stop, moving down. There we are bloody slow once again, but we should be a little bit faster moving up. Although that'll be much more faster, being on a planet which have an atmosphere, those atmospheric thrusters can kick in and will lift us up. Then for gyroscope controls, moving this thing around. No surprises here, this thing is bloody hard to turn around, so we're going to be heavily reliant on both your, well, escorts and the turrets to defend yourself from any kind of drones or enemy ships. And well, that's about it until we go down to a planet. So grab and hold the free camera, coming over to the Earth-like planet, wherever that's gone. Kind of shame we can't go all the way down to that planet, because it is a skybox. And I believe we'll go over to wherever it's gone. I don't know how I keep losing the Earth-like planet. I believe it is actually close to this. It might be that could be an asteroid, so coming all the way up to it. Hopefully this is correct. And well, whatever this is, that'll have to do. It looks like it is Pertam, coming all the way down a bit more, and then just dropping it all the way down like so. Turning it all the way down so we can actually get full force of our atmospheric thrusters. We are in 1.2 Gs of gravity, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough. It looks like we are going to come crashing down to the ground. I'm desperately trying to hold up, but it's not going to be enough. So here we come all the way down. We have a massive clonk and explosion at the back there, which has disabled both our iron thrusters, some of our hydrogen thrusters. But it looks like our cargo contains in one piece, apart from that bottom row. Can still sort of salvage this thing if that's what we want to do. So yes, do make sure you are in very light gravity with this thing, otherwise you come crashing down to the ground, like you saw right here. But that is not good enough for me. No, to end this video, we're going to slam this straight into an asteroid at high speeds, and then that'll be that. So over to here, that's not an asteroid, that's a small moon. I need to, well, drop this into space, hopefully the asteroid will now spawn, there they are, and now it's time for me to realign the camera a little bit with this one. There we go, that'll do quite nicely. Drop it down a bit further, realign this all the way up if I can. It looks like one of our gyroscopes have been destroyed, and now it's time to charge all the way towards it to finish it off this way. So here we go, we are now approaching the asteroid, and I thought this would be a very cinematic view, means we do get the view of the skybox or the planet down below, as well as the massive smoke trail and fire coming from the back of the ship. We have that accident on the Pertam planet. Yes, hopefully any second now. I did think I was pretty close enough to actually start this up once again. Go and slam straight into it, and that'll be that. As it stands right now, and that's the space pirate, and this is just about making it out just above India. Yes, as it stands for the ship, it's a fantastic little ship to use in your world if you do want to have a massive trading ship, and there is the asteroid straight in the middle, interrupting me. And wow, it looks like we have gone all the way through. How about that? I was not expecting that to happen, and I wasn't expecting it to be that close. I actually thought I could do the ending blurb in time, but there we are. We actually went all the way through an asteroid, just moving my character all the way around. There we go. That's such an odd little thing. But anyway, as I was saying, it's a lovely little ship to use in your world in survival mode if you do want to do some long distance trading and carry a nice lot of stuff, make yourself a nice lot of space credits. The alternative playstyle to the standard survival mode, if you say you just want to be a trader, not doing the standard survival gameplay, or any other modded gameplay that you can think of. So with that, there'll be a link to its description below if you wish to download and play around yourself. Highly recommend you do, as well as a link to the Skybox I'm currently using. I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.